Hello and welcome to the OverShadow Shadowcast with your hostess this week. It's Abigail. I'm here by myself, and probably for the foreseeable future, me and Tommy will not be able to record. I know he spoke a little bit about that last week. We won't again be talking about the exact reason because YouTube are kind of hammering down because I think they're afraid of spreading misinformation and such. So they are erring on the side of caution as well as other. That was me phone. Sorry. As well as other people's other social media outlets like Twitter or Facebook. Life has taken a weird turn in the last few weeks. It feels like months now. As of when we're recording this, today's the 23rd of March, and Tommy will probably kill me for saying that. But I have actually not left my house since I had work on the 14th of March and I came home that day and I have not left our property since. I've gone outside into our garden, but only when there's nobody else about. And I've been outside literally like that maybe 3 times since the 15th of March. It's going a bit stir crazy now, but I have to self-isolate like many others, even though I am young, I'm 27, I've got asthma, so I need to be very careful. Also, even if it doesn't spread to me, I might pass it on to somebody else, and I live in a house with two other people who also have underlying health conditions. So that's what I've been up to. It's been it's been strange. For many reasons, I've not been playing games. I've not been in the right headspace for it. So, but hopefully maybe this week it's going to change. Tommy's looking at getting a microphone, so we might do some recordings that way. But we won't be able to do this podcast together for a while. So it might be a case of he does 1 week, I do 1 week, and we alternate. And when I think of it that way, I've only got 6 podcasts to do that I can be let out into the wide world again, hopefully. That's really kind of like, yeah. But he does 6, I did 6, yeah. He does 6? Oh, I've been stuck in the house too long. It's gonna be longer. So, yeah. I'm just going to move on to the stories that I want to discuss today. So, in relation to what is happening worldwide at the moment, Square Enix have announced a stay at home and play campaign. So this is supposed to be encouraging people to not go outside, but have entertainment within the home that can distract them for a long time. If you are a gamer, you know that you can get lost in a game quite easily and lose literally hours. I've lost days to The Sims. I've lost days and days to The Sims. Yeah, if do you know what? That's probably going to be the game that gets everybody through. It's going to be The Sims. If we can just live our lives through The Sims. I don't know if Sims has multiplayer, but if it does, maybe that's the way forward here. So, like I say, Square Enix have launched a stay-at-home and play campaign. Steam, Epic Games, and Ubisoft are offering free games and others at a heavily discounted price, while the world has gone crazy. Things like Drawful 2 is going to be free on Steam until the 11th of April. I've downloaded that and I'm going to be trying out some PC games while I am stuck in the house, attempting to do workouts in my house and feeling very underwhelmed at the fact I don't have any weights and I can't get any weights because everybody bought them. My moan for the day, hopefully. Head Snatchers, Deliland and Goat of Duty are all free, but there is no word on how long they are going to be free for. Tomb Raider, that was released in 2013, is also free at the moment on Steam. I don't know about any other gaming platform, any other buying site, places, brain not working. Steam are offering it free at the moment, but I believe when this goes out, it will be off free. It won't be free anymore, but I'll have a go at playing that and I will keep you up to date on me progress and tell you how that's going. Also, something that's quite interesting, Steam are also offering the Stay Inside bundle at a heavily discounted price. So this is a game package which would normally cost you £119.34. It is currently on sale for £14.80. That's 14.80. So maybe go get that if you want to buy a game at the moment. That might be the one to buy, because I think that if anybody just wanted to pass the time of day away, then I think that's probably going to be a really good way of doing it as well. Yeah, so I think this is an amazing thing that Square Enix have done, and also Steam have done. And I don't really shop on Ubisoft there because I believe they've got one, or the Epic Game Store or anything like that. I have a Steam account, and I've also got a Origin account, which I've not been using for a while. So it's a great incentive, and I think this is also a bit how the supermarkets at the moment are sort of scrapping all their competitive price range thing that they're doing. They're kind of everything's kind of being sold at a similar price at the moment in order for non-competitive shopping. So because everybody realizes we're kind of all in the same boat here at the moment. Even if you do not have to self-isolate, they're saying, you know, like, don't go out. So with things like this, I think will help. It will help in the long run if all of us are staying inside and inevitably becoming paler and paler and losing our vitamin D. Maybe buy some vitamin D supplements. We have some. I've been taking them every day because I can't lose any more vitamin D than I already do living in Scotland. But like I said, I think this is an amazing thing, and I think that especially some of these, I believe Drawful Dead is a Drawful Dead. What? I don't know why I put dead at the end of that. Drawful Dead 2. Jeez, oh. Drawful 2, I believe, is a multiplayer game. I've not tried it yet. I'd never tried Drawful at the beginning, but I think I've seen other people play it, and I think it's a game where you can kind of like, it's a bit like, was it Pictionary? I think that's the idea behind it. I'm not entirely sure on that, but it looks like a fun game, and I'm going to have a go at that and see how that goes. So, some good news. Animal Crossing was released on the 20th of March this year, 2020. Just in time for all this to kick off, and it was released on Switch. It's Animal Crossing's New Horizons, sorry, not just Animal Crossing. That came out a long time ago. People who play it are saying it has really helped them cope with losing the kind of like social interaction aspect of their day-to-day lives, because even though it's not really a multiplayer game, you are able to leave, I think, notes in people's farms. It's a bit like Farmville. I used to play Farmville a long time ago, like 10, 15 years ago, or at least over 10 years ago, because I was still in secondary school at that point. Fun fact, who remembers Bebo? Who remembers Bebo and the little Bebo babies you were able to get? I wonder if they're still there. I wonder, is still Bebo still going? Did anybody else have like pets or those baby things, and then you'd have to like feed them all the time, and if you didn't feed them, you came back and they were like really, really sad. There's like shame on you, bringing out that bell from Game of Thrones. So yeah, people are saying that Animal Crossing's New Horizons has really been helping them, not only like socially, but also with like, their mental health, because it's a very relaxing, slow-moving game, because it uses real-world time, I believe. The clock that's on the game is the real-world clock. So I suppose that really does help, especially because I mean, if you're playing a game and it jumps forward like 5 hours or something like that in game time, and then you look back to your clock and it's like, it's only been 15 minutes, you're like, I want to kill more time. So it is slow, but it does have a calming effect on people. So people have been really happy with that. So the last story I have for you today is on a light note. Tommy has added a link to something. He said this story could be good too. I'm not gonna lie, I've planned this agenda. I'm gonna do the way I wanted to do it, because I asked him 2 days ago to have a look at this, and he hadn't had a look at it. So yeah, I'm gonna do my own agenda. I'm gonna stick to it. So this last one is about the Nintendo PlayStation. So you may not have heard of this before. You may not know what it is, but you're like, Nintendo and PlayStation? That's strange, because that's two different companies. So, like I said, on a lighter note, before Sony went on to create their own PlayStation brand, for a short-lived time, we had the Nintendo PlayStation, also called the Super SNES CD-ROM. Super SNES CD-ROM. Say that's 5 times fast. Or it should have been. Nintendo and PlayStation had been rumoured to have partnered up to create a gaming console which could have both used a cartridge and a CD-ROM. At the time when they were making this, everybody had to use a cartridge. CD-ROM was pretty new, It's pretty new, so this would have been pretty revolutionary. Revolution, you know what I mean. However, this did not come to pass, and then the console was lost to the mists of time. Loads of people actually denied it was ever made, because if it had been, nobody knew anything about it. That is, until a prototype, thought to be the last one in existence, came up for auction. The console was found in an attic in the USA and had originally been bought by a Terry Diebold, I don't know how to say your name, at an auction when the company he was working for went bust. It was hiding in one of the many boxes Mr. Diebold bought collectively for $75. So there was, I think the idea, I don't know if it was a box inside a box put inside a bigger box, put inside a bigger box. But I think it was collectively like a job lot. You see them a lot, you know, like, was it Storage Wars or Storage Hunters or something like that, and they bid and then they find something way at the back and it's worth, you know, at least 10 times what they paid for that storage locker. Watch that show. Watch a few episodes. It's fun. I'm not going to lie. But I prefer the American one to the British one. I don't even think the British one's still going on. The console was actually discovered by his son in his attic. So it's obviously the guy had no idea what this thing was, and his son, I think, was into gaming. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And unbelievably, they tested it before it went to auction, and it still worked. Like, it was still playing the cartridges. I believe it was also still playing the CDs. But I don't know if it was ever playing I don't know if it started playing the CD-ROMs, because I don't believe any games were actually ever made for it for the CD, on the CD-ROM. It was still cartridges that was being made for it. And the console actually sold. Now remember, the guy in a job lot bought it for $75. He did not know it was there. And it sold for $360,000 or £230,000, 700 pounds. £230,700. There we go. I think most people, if you've got stuff in your house, you don't know what it is, I think we should all go through an attic clear out or a loft clear out every now and again, because you have no idea what kind of gems are going to be lying about. I mean, let's face it, half the time when we tidy our rooms or anything, we spend most of it playing with the stuff we had no idea we even had, you know, or amazing at these books that we still have. I mean, it's crazy. But, you know, good for him. I've actually seen a picture of it. It looks really strange. I don't know if I'll be able to get a picture for it for this. But yeah, it's pretty bizarre. It just looks like it does have a slot for a cartridge as well as one for a CD-ROM. And the controller itself looks surprisingly a lot like the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo controller. Imagine a world in which that was still a thing where you could play cartridges and a CD-ROM. Oh, I suppose PlayStations you can play, I think, Blu-rays and DVDs and CDs and all this kind of stuff. But again, that's all on a CD-ROM. So imagine that world. Imagine a world where everything was a Nintendo PlayStation. Everything. I don't mean everything, but you know, all consoles. Like trying to think of like an Xbox Stadia or something like that. So that's all the stories I have for you today. And hopefully you've enjoyed listening to me ramble on. Is it very noticeable? I have not left my house in quite a long time. I suppose many of you will probably be in the same boat as me at the moment. So, you know, I've just got a little message here at the end, which I'd like to read, and I think Tommy's okay with it as well. So just a message for this time that we're in. So to finish on, I have this message for all those listening, and to pass the message on to anybody. Yes, it's a scary time, but we do have to think of others. We should not be in a situation where our shop shelves are bare, where people are coming off shifts, not lasting hours but days, to find nothing to eat. Please only buy what you need from the shops, groceries, sit down and plan a week's meal, and only shop for that. Don't stockpile, please. People who rely on deliveries of food to their house because they live in isolated locations and have no transport are having to wait weeks for their shop. Elderly and vulnerable people who should only be venturing out for essential reasons, such as to shop for groceries or to get prescriptions, are finding nothing. If you do not have to be outside, please don't go out. Stay at home. You will be safe, and so will the high risk. To all, stay safe and stay well. hopefully that wasn't too sad to end on, but the message does need to be addressed to everybody. Stay at home. Even though you feel invincible, there are others out there who don't. You might not know you've contracted this, but others will be hospitalized because of it. So, like I say, please stay safe and stay well. So, if you have enjoyed this podcast and would like to listen to more of us, you can find more of our podcasts online. You can follow us at Facebook at overshadow.shadowcast. You can email us at overshadow.shadowcast@gmail.com. You can leave a comment in the description. You can leave a comment below. How about comment the games that are going to be getting you through this? Brian, tell us what games you're going to be playing. James, tell us what games you're going to be playing. Tommy, tell us what games you're going to be playing. I will also tell you what games I'm going to... How about I comment what I'm going to be playing down below? But yeah, tell us what games you're going to be playing to get you through this time. Yeah. It's scary, but you know what, guys? We're going to get through it. We can get through it if we all pay attention to what we have to do. And yes, it's advice, but it's sensible advice. It's kind of necessary advice. You can like this video. You can subscribe to our channel if you'd like to hear me ranting anymore. If you'd like to not hear me ranting anymore, Tommy will be ranting instead of me, maybe some of the days. So, I mean, you could do that if you want. You can listen to him rant instead. So yeah, I hope that you guys are staying safe, staying well. I've probably forgotten to mention something, and Tommy's probably going to give me a lecture because of it. Something I'm getting used to. So, like I said, stay well, stay safe, and thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it, and come back next week, and hopefully we'll have video play for you guys to watch as well, because we've got nothing else to do. Okay, bye bye.